Sam well batted. Obviously, the game mirrored last week's against Worcestershire, having seen Haas perform those sort of similar heroics. How satisfying was it to walk back to Pavilion at the end of the day, having seen out the draw?
No, really satisfying. Obviously, Haas led the way last week, and everybody worked really hard this week to obviously try and push for the win, but it wasn't meant to be. So ended up going for the draw. But yeah, as a team, I think we were happy in the end that we managed to come away with a draw after sort of working hard for all 4 days. Yeah.
Obviously, on you and Haas, you batted for 23 overs together in the first innings, and then 27 together in the second. So how positive are those signs for your partnership, particularly going into the season?
Yeah, really positive. Me and Hassan sort of spoke after the day, saying how much we both enjoyed batting with each other this week. And we've sort of formed a nice partnership in years gone by in uni cricket, and then obviously when we've had the chance for Leicestershire. But yeah, really positive signs. Obviously moving forward, if me and Haas can get us off to a really good start, then we should be in a really great position to win games of cricket. So fingers crossed moving forward, me and Haas can really build on sort of how this week's gone.
But from a team point of view, obviously, it's a positive draw in the end, given the position we were in. And that was especially given the hand that we were dealt in the second innings, obviously losing Righty and Buren. It was really tough graft, it looked like, in the field on that wicket.
Yeah, really tough on that day 3. Obviously, we knew how things were going to pan out and that they were going to come quite aggressively and potentially look to have a bowl at us on day 3 evening. But I thought Davo, Barnsley efforts were amazing to obviously help restrict them and mean that we didn't have to bat late on day 3. And then also sort of everybody in the field backed up by Ackers and Rhodesy with their spin. But Davo and Barnsley's efforts were incredible, really, considering how many overs they'd bowled in the week, losing Righty and then obviously to lose Buren. For them to put in that shift is real sort of testament to their fitness and their attitudes to obviously help us not have to have batted sort of, we could have been 1 or 2 down going into day 4, but instead, we were a fresh start and only had 96 overs to bat. So, yeah.
Obviously, the pitch itself behaved fairly well for the most part, maybe a bit of inconsistent bounce. No, Potts got a few to spit up, and there was that one that kept a bit lower. I think it was Gibson that hit you on the helmet. So how did you find the wicket overall?
I thought it was a good wicket. I think it was probably favoured the batters. It was quite difficult for sort of bowling side to take 20 wickets. It didn't really start to spin. And like you say, just a little bit of inconsistent bounce on day 4. Yeah, I think it's just sort of wicket where you really have to work hard for your wickets. And as a batter, if you sort of apply yourself and look to bat long periods of time, then you could. Yeah, favoured the batters, but overall a good wicket. I don't mind that.
Overall, obviously, it was about applying yourself, getting in. So how balanced in a knock like that, on a pitch like that, is sort of mental resilience and concentration as compared with, your technique?
No, massive. I think concentrating every ball, just sort of all of the batters. Nico spoke about it a lot. Working in small targets. So if you're at 2 o'clock looking at getting through to 2:30, and then from there getting to 3 o'clock, and then so you start seeing the overs go from 40 down to 32, down to 24. This sort of stuff. So yeah, the mental resilience and just setting yourself small targets. As opposed to looking at the big picture of sort of 96 overs, just looking at each sort of half an hour block to help all of us get through and have that sort of determination. For all the batters sort of on day 4 showed that to really help the boys. Yeah.
So what were you speaking about with Ackers out there? Obviously, he batted with you for a long time after Hassan had batted you with you before. So what were you talking about in the middle?
Yeah, just that really. We were just looking at sort of getting through to the next block, sort of discussing what was going on with the pitch and with the bowlers. Yeah, nothing too serious. We like to try and switch off between balls and sort of between overs, but yeah, nothing major. Just sort of keeping each other going and sort of reinforcing positive messages. Look forward, look to play straight, and let the ball come, play it late. Yeah, simple messages really.
And Haas spoke last week about maybe making adjustments to his technique over the winter. Did you do anything drastic with yours, or did you feel that after a decent 2021, you were in a good place?
No, nothing drastic. Just sort of reinforcing good habits and looking to keep out sort of bad habits. Didn't really look to change anything drastically. It's a couple of small sort of tweaks, trying to keep my hips more aligned a little bit. But yeah, nothing drastic. Yeah, Nico's great with me and sort of keeping on touch with the little things that creep into my game and the bits of my game which I need to work on, and areas of my game which he's happy with and wants me to just keep on replicating and making them repeatable for longer and longer. So my winter plan from Nico was pretty simple, which I thought was great, and feel like it's hopefully put me in a good place for this season.
Obviously, spending a lot of time out in the middle is the most important thing early part of the season. So does that knock through you with a lot of confidence personally heading into Derbyshire on Thursday?
Yeah, really, really nice. I was a bit disappointed sort of with the first sort of three innings. It's always tough when you're not really quite contributed. So to sort of have that this week hopefully puts me in a much more confident mood, and we can back up sort of couple of draws to get the season going, and then if we can sort of win against Derby this week and put on a good show, then I think we'll be off to a really positive start to the season. So fingers crossed, all raring to go and all in a good place to take 20 wickets and score more runs than Derby.